Hi. If there's something that ancient Rome has been known for ages to be proficient at, is its unimpeachable ability to wage war against the neighbors, and especially against itself. But among the vast collection of civil wars, mutinies, slave revolts, violent uprisings, and takeovers that it lived through, was there any true revolution, successful or not, that could have threatened the very foundations of the Roman established order? Let's find out. Before anything else, the word revolution has had and continues to have a myriad of different meanings across many languages. But for the sake of simplicity and for a clear understanding, we'll take the noun as the process of total and complete seize over power by one or more factions at odds with the political, social, and economic status quo, whose main objectives, after becoming the new ruling class, are to defy and change the system's core values and institutions, as well as the inner balance of powers from its roots, like the French or Russian revolutions. Okay, that sounds quite deep, doesn't it? And given how many centuries of Roman troubles the history pages have gifted to us, shouldn't it be obvious at some point a revolution might have actually taken place? Well, it's not that simple. Let's see three main examples of major known struggles to unravel the complexity of Rome's centennial internal affairs. In the first place, one of the most relevant generational collides between the common people, the plebeians, and the ruling aristocracy, the patricians, during the early days of the Republic was known as the conflict of orders, in which the first ones demanded more rights and greater political representation, since they usually faced economic and political marginalization, were banned from participating in any decision-making meeting or session, and suffered total legal helplessness when confronting the patricians, while the latter ones resisted these demands, seeking to maintain their exclusive grip on power and influence. In 494 BC, the plebeians, frustrated by their lack of progress, feeling that the Senate had failed to address their complaints, organized a mass withdrawal from the city of Rome and established their own self-sufficient community on the nearby Sacred Mount, an episode known as the First Plebeian Secession. Despite that this action was a significant test to the Republic's authority, since it threatened to fragment the social and political framework, it shouldn't be taken as an attempted revolution, given that there was no known general violent uprising intended to subvert the patricians' rule, but rather an organized protest aimed at pressuring the Senate to negotiate and address many grievances. Although another 4 plebeian secessions would take place decades later, all episodes would eventually end without plebeian mobs assaulting the said assembly and declaring their own parallel government, but with a broad cooldown after the patricians acceded to their demands. For instance, in the previous case, the urban elites managed to convince the separatists to return to civilization after numerous concessions, particularly the creation of the Tribune of the Plebes, 493 BC, a sacred appointment whose official was elected by the common people to defend their interests, with the ability to veto any law or proposal from any magistrate of the Senate. In the second place, another notable conflict that shook the Republic from within was the Social War, a clash between the metropole and the self-proclaimed coalition of discontent Italian allies, who, despite being officially under Roman rule, did not have the right to vote in elections and laws, thus seeking greater political representation and citizenship rights, which had been blatantly denied, again, by smart decisions in the Senate. But once more, even though this came up as an all-out war, resulting in significant loss of life on both sides, it wasn't either a revolution with the goal of reshaping the system, but one bloody rebellion which broke out because a certain population felt they had been left out of it. Moreover, it also ended with the enactment of a new piece of legislation, the Lex Julia, a law which granted Roman citizenship to all male members from the Italic communities that had not explicitly taken up arms against Rome. So what could be the definitive milestone that would mark a radical transformation of the Republic? What could be the third-time charm of challenging the rigid Roman society? We'll see it in the next episode. Stay tuned and have a nice day.